hello people who cannot sit at home, thank you so much for being here. Today I think is a really fun video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to TTC, or if you don't know, it's the Toronto Subway, Toronto Transit Commission, and I want to tell you about my 10 favorite subway stations and also 5 of my least favorite subway stations. I think it will be a fun video. I got inspired by a similar video about New York, and I thought, why not do it for Toronto? I'm also gonna do some sketching because, well, why not? It's gonna be a lot of time in the subway, so why not do something while I do that? So join me and let's see some of these stations. Here I am going in. I did decide to put on a mask because I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the subway today, and it's just, I think it's a good idea to do that. So let's go and start with my 10 favorite subway stops in Toronto. So place number 10, and I'm going to go from number 10 to number 1. Number 10 is Bessarion on the Shepherd Line. And by the way, I'm going to throw in a bunch of facts and a lot of stuff I found on the internet. And as with everything on the internet, some of it could be untrue, but I definitely hope that it is. So Bessarion, for example, is said to be the least used subway station with all of the subway stations that Toronto has. I personally enjoyed the station because it's very empty most of the time when I'm there, and it is beautiful. It is definitely still very fresh. It opened in 2002, and I just like that station. Following up is number 9, Bayview Station. That's actually the station right next to it. I like this a little bit more because there are drawings in there and they're kind of 3D. So from the side you will see kind of a bunch of lines, but if you go and walk around it, you will see an apple. Over here, for example, is a clock. And this one, actually, I discovered it just now for myself for the first time while filming this, is when you go over here. I knew this was a lily, but I didn't know that they were lily leaves. Over here, when you go down to the platform, you will see this staircase. On one angle, it's completely kind of incorrect proportion, but when you walk around on the other side, it's really nice and straight. Pretty cool. Definitely appreciate the artists and designers who came up with this. And as I mentioned, I will be sketching, and I wanted to start with some kind of object that, not people, because I was afraid that people were looking at me. So here's me kind of sketching that little piece of the handlebar and the bar. And this is where it ended up with. I'm not gonna lie, sketching on a subway is hard because it's shaking so much, so the line is very uneven. So number 8 goes to Rosedale, and I definitely do enjoy the station. I used it quite a lot, actually. I used to have tennis near that area, and I specifically like this part of the station. So there's this area where you can just stand and watch the trains. It's fun. I like it. For me, it's fun. And let me know if you also have ever kind of stood there checking out the trains. One more sketch right after Rosedale is exactly off that train view that I was just showing you. Pretty rough, but these are really fast sketches, not really trying to make any kind of masterpieces here, more for fun while I'm in between stations. So the place number 7 of the best subway station goes to Old Mill. This is on the Bloor-Danforth line. I did not have actual footage of it, so these are just some photos. I like it because it's, again, very open, it exits, and I really enjoy that. Anytime I'm there, I love checking out the river and the greenery. So number 6 goes to Bloor Viaduct, the subway portion of it, the one that goes out and goes into the beautiful view of the Don Valley. Definitely always enjoyed this view, of course, especially in the summertime when we have the really pretty trees, or in the fall time. And there's a river in there as well. Whenever I'm here, I always try to sit so that I get to look out of the window. I really enjoy this. So the 5th subway station that I really enjoy is the Shepherd West. It's unusual for me to say that because to me that's still Downsview, but it has definitely changed the name. I really like it because of that blue curved element over there. It just looks so very open and spacious. It's the best actually during daytime. Sorry, this is nighttime. And I also did some research, and this building was used for religious services. It was even a courthouse with a jail located in a cellar. So lots of history there. So the station number 4 definitely earns this spot, is Dupont subway station. So of course the main thing about this station are the gorgeous mosaic. They were done by James Sutherland and entitled Spadina Summer Under All Seasons. And the mosaics are mainly colored glass. And by the way, the station opened in 1978. But for me, another thing about the station is that notice that everything is circular, like the penny tiles, the lighting is circular, and even the benches are kind of curved. Everything is very organic, just like the flowers. I love how there's so much thought that went into that station. More sketches from me over here, slightly trying a person over there. Here's the more of a final piece. Definitely very hard to draw with everything kind of shaking, but I'm doing my best. So subway station that I think is amazing is Yorkdale. This is number 3. Overall, anytime I'm there, I do enjoy the architecture of it. It's like kind of this hallway down the middle, and you see the sky through it. It's very beautiful, very airy. The interesting thing about the station is that there was an art installation, I think in the 70s, earlier on when it opened, and it got discontinued actually in the 90s. It's essentially, as the train would go in, there would be a rainbow following that train. At least that's how I understood it. Let me know if that's incorrect. It was done by Michael Hayden. He actually did another really awesome piece for Chicago Airport. And there has been talks of maybe doing this again, but so far no official information. And if you look close over here, you will see a bit of the lines. I think those were the LED strips or light strips, whatever they used. Possibly, maybe. The 2 spot goes well-deservingly to the museum. For sure one of the most ornate and interesting subway stations to walk around. I love how they have different times. Over here they actually explain everything. We have the Greek, we have the Asian influence, we have the native influence. Very beautiful station. My only kind of negative thing about the station is, well, first of all, some of the columns do repeat, at least it felt like they do. And also the ceiling could have been nicer. You see the wires and everything like that. For such a nice and pretty station, it would have been cool to eliminate the lines. And here's me slowly starting to sketch people. Here's a shoe of the guy across from me. I think the shoe actually looks good. It's getting better. It's getting better. So now over here is my favorite stop. This is York University subway station. I actually went to York. I'm an alumni. We did not have the subway station when I was there. It would have been really nice. I do love the look of it. It's definitely very brutalist to me, but in a very modern, chic kind of way. By the way, brutalism, in my opinion, can look cool. Check out eco-brutalism if you would like to see some beautiful brutalism. This entry hallway is also really gorgeous. This makes me feel like I'm somewhere in Europe, actually. Very beautifully done. And outside it's also gorgeous. It looks like a spaceship or something along those lines. And it's interesting how this was not there when I used to go to York. Another interesting thing is that they had ramen. Any kind of ramen you can possibly want is over here. For the students, of course. It seems like they're all $5. And I think it makes it for you. I'm pretty sure. I didn't try it. I just found it hilarious that the university subway station would have ramen. Now let's go to my least favorite stations. And over here, I quickly wanted to tell you about my books. So the digital formats are all on Etsy. There are 3 books. One is summer, one is weekends in summer, and one is fall winter. And on Amazon, I actually have 4 books because there's another art book. So same books as before, but in print format. And of course, I'm going to link everything down below if you would like to check them out. I'm going to do again from number 5 to number 1. And number 5 is Spadina Corridor. So here I am getting off on the Spadina, and here's that corridor when you go upstairs. And over here, just pay attention to the right. Please hold handrail over here, just in the middle of nothing. So of course you probably already know what I'm trying to get at, is the Spadina's moving walkway. This is how it looked before, pretty much as if you are at the airport. It looked very nice. It was awesome zooming on it. it was cool. I really enjoyed it. So when they took it out in 2004 because of the cost reasons, to be honest, I was a little sad. So that's why it made the list of my least favorite stations, because I do wish that it was still there. It was a lot of fun, but I do understand, of course, if it was always breaking down. I remember that as well. So number 4 goes to College and Dundas subway stations, both of them. Over here, I'm just showing you the College. Why? Mainly because there's very little creativity in them and they always smell bad. I know it's a little superficial to say, but those are the stinkiest subway stations, and that's why they're on my list. Number 3 is St. Patrick's Station. This is an interesting one. Right now it actually looks pretty horrible because they took off the green coverings, but even with the green I was not really a fan. I've seen online that people do enjoy the green color. Sure, I don't like it, but it's fine. The reason why I don't like the station though is that it's very closed off. You have very little space, especially over there when it narrows, to kind of bypass people, and everything in here is also closed off. I understand it's for safety reasons. I know that there was an accident a long time ago, but still it feels very closed off, and that's exactly, anything could happen, especially when it's rush hour and there's a lot of people. I never really liked or felt safe at that station. So number 2 least favorite is the Pioneer Village. So you see this art installation and the screen. So what this was supposed to be, I think it's 8 letters. There's supposed to be 8 letters that you can write out using those screens, and they will be just over there. But unfortunately, right before this was opened to the public, the station was open to the public, they decided to not go ahead with that idea for the concerns of that it might be inappropriate words that could be written in there. This is definitely a controversial subway station because a lot of people have a lot of opinions about this online. If you read about it, it's pretty fascinating. I do want to point out that when you go upstairs, there's a number of really cool art installations in there, which I actually really enjoyed. I was trying to figure out if I should include this in the best of, because look at this, like a black hole space. To me, this is space. I guess for everybody it's different. And another really beautiful thing is if you go upstairs, very interesting space. And I like this boulder. Not sure, but I love the textures. Definitely very architecturally interesting. And here's me finally taking off the mask because there was nobody around and I just wanted to breathe a little bit. And I decided to sketch one of those panels. Nothing crazy, but it was a lot of fun. So, number 1, my least favorite subway station is Union. Definitely one of the most busiest subway stations in Toronto. And my issue about Union is when they renovated not too long ago, they use these sketches. And as I understand, the artist drew those sketches while being on the subway, same as me. But my main challenge specifically with these sketches is that they're very dark and not very upbeat. And for a station that's as busy as Union Station, I was hoping that it would be something more positive. That's just how I see it. Definitely let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my choices. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your favorite subway stations down below. Please subscribe, like, and share, and I will see you next time. Bye.